Welcome to this episode of Sunny's Silver Linings. Sunny's guest today is Joe Ruskey, owner of Dependable Solutions. Joe takes us through his unexpected career path into the IT industry, eventually starting his own IT business. He discusses how aligning your values and passion with the right cultural environment can have a lasting effect on your employees and ultimately your customers. And now, your host, the founder and CEO of IT by Design, Mr. Sunny Kaila. Over to you, Sunny.
Joe, thank you so much for joining me today. I truly appreciate this. And I'm so excited about having a conversation today and learning from your experience.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I appreciate you inviting me. I look forward to sharing a little bit about me and Dependable Solutions. And this is going to be great. Great way to start the week.
Yeah, and thank you for your partnership. You're a great partner and well aligned with our mission and vision and core values. And so we truly appreciate you. So Joe, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So, I don't feel old, but I guess I'm getting older because I started getting into this industry. I graduated high school in '93, started college, didn't know what I wanted to do. Ended up working for cell phone companies, corporate headquarters, basically as a glorified administrative assistant in the IT department. Never had worked done anything with IT. That was right around the time when everybody was starting to transition from mainframe into, this is going to date me, into Novell. So I started working with Novell and I found out that I loved IT. So I worked for this company for probably about 5 years. And then what I ended up doing was I got an offer to go to a company, a large banking company in downtown Chicago, Illinois. Went and worked for them, made probably 50% more salary. Realized the culture was so different than where I had come from, and that no amount of money could ever make up for that culture. So at a very young age, I learned how important culture was, that it wasn't about the money. It was about being in an environment that you like to be every day. Ended up going back to that same cellular company's corporate headquarters. The vice president said, I will bring you back at the same salary you left at if you do one thing and you make sure you tell everybody that you came back because of the culture. And I did. And I was happy to say it. And so, at early 20s, I learned how important culture was. Ended up going and working for a consulting firm in the late 90s. And I had a boss that really was chasing the dollar and not the relationship. And that concerned me. And I had multiple discussions with him. And he basically told me, this is how I run my business. And this is what my business is going to do. And at that point, I figured, you know what? He's right. It is his business. And if I want to run things the way I want to run them, then I better figure out how to start my own business. So in the late 90s, I started my first IT business. If you remember the late 90s, that was before the .com crash. Everything was, no matter what you did, it was IT. And so I ended up getting into more and more working with companies all over Chicago. I had a partner with me that had the same belief of let's get the relationship, the money will come later. And that worked out really well into the early 2000s. My father and mom had moved to Wisconsin, and they went to semi-retire out to Wisconsin. And my dad was a smoker and ended up getting lung cancer. And so my wife and I came out to help him out with lung cancer. And then he passed probably about a year later. And we decided, maybe Wisconsin is where we want to raise our children. Chicago at that point, crime was getting worse. I was tired of traffic and all that stuff. But we moved into a little town of about 6,000 people, and our nearest neighbor was a cow, and so it was a little bit different than Chicago. So I had no idea if a consulting firm could make it in Chicago, and ended up opening, could make it in Prairie du Chien, Wisconsin, and ended up opening in August of 2003. And immediately we had customers because they were dealing with consulting firms that were basically coming from an hour plus away, were charging a lot of travel time and could charge them whatever they wanted because they knew that they were needed. And so we quickly filled a void out there. And so in August of 2003, we opened our doors. Long story short, now we're 30 plus employees, multiple locations, and we've got a reputation of being a very fair consulting firm that always looks at the client first. In fact, we don't advertise, never have advertised, and we continue to grow each and every day. Even during the pandemic, we actually grew 8 employees during that time. So, I mean, we are always looking outward. And so we're focused on the customer and not on ourselves. And that's kind of my leadership style and my team's leadership style as we continue to go down this journey.
Thank you for sharing that, Joe. So a couple of things that I heard. Family, right? So you moved there to take care of your parents. And that shows that, you are a family first person, and giving up on, you can give up on a lot of other things because of that relationship. And so to me, it seems like you lead from heart, and relationship is so important to you. And even when I look at the journey that you just shared, and from when you say customers first, and what I'm hearing is that people, right, that customers that you serve, and you are building your relationship, your business based on these relationships, and you don't have too much advertisement and other things going on, because when you have relationships, strong relationships, your business grows. When you serve right, you serve from your heart, your business grows. And thank you for sharing that. And that's what we do here at IT by Design. And this is why probably we are good partners. So I know you're big on kind of culture and relationships and building your team, surrounding yourself with the right people around you. So what do you look for? So let's say I'm interested in applying for a position at Dependable Solution. What are you looking for in an ideal candidate?
Sure. Well, the first thing that honestly the staff that we have, we love. So we're looking to them and saying, hey, you guys know our culture. Do you have people you feel that would benefit? Mm-hmm. We have a multi-$1,000 recruitment bonus for everybody you recruit, because I would rather give you, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 than spend it on Indeed. Because you already know exactly the culture and the people that I'm looking for. So that's number one. We start with that. And if you're recommended by one of our in our staff, chances are you're probably going to end up with a job with us, because our staff know exactly what we're looking for, and they're not going to put their reputation on the line if it's not the right fit. Yeah. So, I would say honestly, during our first interview, even if you're not, let's assume that you came from Indeed or something, you weren't recommended internally. We're having probably about a 30, 45 minute conversation where I'm going to ask you things like, what do you like to do on the weekends? What do you like to do outside of work? What is your ideal environment? Tell me, what have you done? Have you had difficult situations where you went and you did something and you did it wrong? How'd you resolve it? I want to know who the person is. I always tell people, I can teach you tech skills. I can't teach you how to be the person I need for the team. That's the piece I need you to come in with the right personality and the right, who you are. I can't change who you are. Yes. And so I need to make sure that I'm getting the right person. So I'm going to get that person that obviously knows how to talk to an individual. They know how to direct it to their audience, right? If I'm talking to a CEO versus the night custodian, I need to be able to bring it to their level. And sometimes the night custodian knows more about IT than the CEO. And I need to understand that. And I need to bring that to their level. And I need to respect them both, and regardless of what their job title is, and bring that same respect to them. And so I'm looking for that type of person, somebody that can talk to, have a conversation as an individual. I already know you can talk to a computer. I need to know you can talk to a person. And so that's the very first interview. The second one, then we'll get into the details of the technical pieces and all that. But the first one, I need to know that you just have that right attitude. The other thing is, I tell people all the time, I will go there and I will do whatever it takes at a client site to support my team. Sometimes that's pull back on my old network engineering and help bring a switch up. Sometimes it's, hey, take out the garbage, Joe, because that's what you're going to be best at in this situation. And sometimes it's, hey, go out and get pizza because we're pulling an all-nighter because the system went down. And let's make sure the team knows that you're there to support them with coffee and pizza. And so we need that same type of attitude in our staff where, hey, I don't care if I'm a senior network engineer, yet I need to unbox 500 computers. That's okay. I'll do it. So we need the right attitude as well. And so that's really what we're looking for. It comes to your attitude and who you are as a person.
Yeah. Being a good human being, because as you said, you can teach people technical skills, but you can teach people how to be a good human being. That's really the choice that they have to make, right? What kind of human being they want to be. And great family, that dependable family that you're talking about. That's kind of, being surrounded with good human beings. And when you are a good human being, then you're going to be really do everything possible to make sure that you're a good family member. And here we have a choice to choose our family members, right? And with the blood relationship, sometimes you don't have that choice. You kind of, I had no choice of my, choosing a father or mother, but I'm so blessed that I am, my parents are kind of, it's a blessing, right? They are great human beings. But with the friends, with who I surround myself with at work, those are the choices we have. And if we make our choices with that humanity, based on humanity and being good human beings, then we have a right family. Then work is not work then. It's more like, it's something amazing that is hard to describe. And thank you so much, Joe, for coming to my podcast and sharing your experiences. Very, very valuable insights, and I truly appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. It's been a great conversation, and I appreciate it.